Welcome to Manifest Beyond Limits, the podcast that helps you break free from fear and self-doubt so you can create a life filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment. I'm your host, Anaja, manifestation coach, speaker, and believer in limitless possibility. Each week, we'll dive into the mindset shifts, energetic principles, and manifestation tools that help you step into your power and design a reality that truly lights you up. Because here, we believe there are no limits, and anything is possible. You ready? Let's manifest beyond limits. Welcome back to the Manifest Beyond Limits podcast. So today, we are continuing our Universal Law series. But before we get into this next law, I really want to briefly zoom out and connect all of the dots. Because these laws are not separate. They are layers of the same system. So we started with the law of divine oneness, the understanding that everything is connected and that there is no real separation between you and the world around you. Then we moved into the law of vibration, the idea that everything is energy and constantly vibrating and emitting certain frequencies. From there, we talked about the law of correspondence, as within, so without. So your inner world becomes your outer experience. And then we covered the law of attraction, which is about your dominant inner state. So like attracts like, meaning that you attract people, experiences, and opportunities that operate on the same frequency that you consistently embody. And then that leads us into today's law. So once you understand that your inner world shapes your outer world, then the next question is, what is my inner world built on? And that's where the law of assumption comes in. So the law of assumption states that whatever you assume to be true about yourself, about others, about life becomes your reality. Because your mind, body, and nervous system organizes the things that you experience based on what you expect. But the key thing here is that what you assume to be true is often unconscious. So they're the thoughts and beliefs that you've repeated long enough that they feel normal and you don't even recognize that you're having them. So this is why people say things like, I don't know why this keeps happening to me. I always end up in the same situation. It's like I keep attracting the same thing over and over again. And from the outside, it looks like bad luck or that they're being punished. But based on the law of assumption, it's actually what you have consistently assumed to be true over time. Because your reality is not responding to what you want, it's responding to what you assume is likely to happen, is normal, or is inevitable. So if you assume people eventually leave, men or women are inconsistent, money is stressful, success requires long hours, you have to work harder than everyone else, then your reality will keep providing evidence to prove that you're right. And it's not meant to hurt you or to intentionally keep you stuck in the same cycle of patterns, but it's to stay aligned with your assumptions. And the reason why is because your assumptions don't only live in your mind, they also live in your nervous system. And so your body is constantly scanning the outside world for what feels familiar and safe. So if your nervous system learned early on in life that love is uncertain and unpredictable, then when you experience a calm relationship, it might feel unfamiliar. If your nervous system learned that money equals stress, then when you experience ease and overflow and abundance, it might feel suspicious. And so even when something better shows up, your body might say, this doesn't feel right. And when something familiar shows up, even if it's painful or not your desired reality, your body says, okay, I know this. I'm used to this. And so this is also why things like affirmations alone don't always work or fix things. Because you can say, I'm worthy, I'm abundant, money flows to me easily. But if your deeper underlying assumptions are, I have to earn money, I can't relax, it never lasts, then your nervous system will override those affirmations. Because your system is just trying to keep you regulated and keep you safe. And so the law of assumption explains that the real change happens at the level of your identity and not just your thoughts. So changing your assumptions means questioning what you've been assuming to be true and treating as fact. So instead of asking, why does this keep happening to me? try asking, what am I assuming is normal here? What outcome am I constantly expecting, even subconsciously? Because once an assumption is recognized, it then loses its grip on your identity. And when you begin to assume something new, your behavior shifts, your energy shifts, and your reality follows. So to close it all out, the moment that you realize your reality is just confirming your assumptions, you also recognize and realize that changing those assumptions will then change everything else. Not necessarily overnight, but through consistent awareness, embodiment, and safety. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Manifest Beyond Limits. I hope you're leaving feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to take aligned action toward your next level. If this episode spoke to your heart, it would mean the world if you shared it with someone who needs to hear it, or left a quick review to help more beautiful souls find this space. And if you'd like to stay connected, you can find me on Instagram at Manifest Beyond Limits, or visit manifestbeyondlimits.com to dive deeper into my world. And remember, you are powerful, you are supported, and there are no limits to what you can create. With that being said, go out there and manifest a life that's truly beyond limits.